Living a Healthy Lifestyle show with your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie Kay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Living a Healthy Lifestyle show with your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie Kay. We got lots of shows going on. We got Tony Lynch. He is not only a grief counselor, but he also has a podcast that he helps people get through the grief and everything that they're going through in those stages. So I want to welcome you to the show, Tony. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
for,
having. Yeah,
yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you started helping people with grief.
yeah. So I'm Tony Lynch. I am a men's grief coach. I have been for 6 years. I have one nonprofit and one soon-to-be nonprofit. My main nonprofit is Memories of Us, where I help men like myself navigate the world of grief, trauma, mental health, and addiction. My second organization is called the Global Grief Network because I'm partnered with all of these practitioners from across the world. It's a place where we come and collaborate, network, and serve underserved communities. I'm also a podcast host, two-time author, editor-in-chief of the magazine Grief Talk magazine, and the author of the novel The Adventures of Grief God. So how I got into this was a long road. So I'm a survivor of childhood molestation. I was in a gang for over 24 years. I was in prison for 5 years. Yeah, I've lost over 400 plus of my friends. I've lost all my grandparents. I've lost uncles, aunts, cousins. I've lost both parents, and I've also lost my younger brother, including my son. So after that, after this long road of trying to navigate this world, carrying all of that pain, I got to a place where I didn't want to do life anymore. And I made a decision to remove myself from this place. And in that moment, God came and changed my mind. He showed me my life. He showed me the journey that I had been on. He helped me connect the dots. He reminded me of the people that I had met along the way, and the difference that I made in their life. And when I asked one simple question, what am I supposed to do with this? God opened up this door and put me along this path and said, you're going to use it to help other people. And I didn't know that I was going to be working with men. I was just going to get into the grief field and see what happens. Um, it wasn't until two support groups that I had gone through that said that they allowed men to come in, right? But both of them, I realized there was no men there. And then the light bulb went off. And I said, men don't talk around women. And so once I came up with that concept, I said, you know what? What if there was a place where men like myself can come and be surrounded by other men and we can actually be open and honest with one another? And so that's what I did. I started Memories of Us in 2019. And with just the premise of I just wanted to create a space for us to be able to come and talk and be supportive. But I also wanted to learn from them to see how they navigate this world of grief, right? And it just kind of everything turned around and grew from that point on, and it became the organization that it is today. So, it is international, it is nationally. I have 48 different satellite locations nationally. I have 14 international satellite locations. And so I service almost 32,000 men a year.
Wow, that is such an amazing ministry that God's given you.
It is.
Have you always wanted, I mean, you took your experiences and turned them around, and that's what we've been talking about on Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show Network, that people are using their experiences and God's saying, hey, you just experienced this. So now start a business with it, start a ministry with it, help people.
Yeah. And it was the best, it was the best decision I ever made to follow this path. It's been amazing. It's taken me places that I never thought I would see. Um, Introduced some amazing people into my world, and to watch everything grow from where it is from where it was 6 years ago to where it is today has been this beautiful thing. And when you can just watch God's hands move, right? Those who are struggling right now that didn't know, that was really uncertain about if this is what they wanted to do, you're starting to see them step into their own. Their gifts are
Mm.
starting to shine so brightly, right? And the people that they impact is it's changing their lives. I have a statement, and I have a statement that I say to people, you know, surround yourself with people who are out here changing people's lives one heartbeat at a time,
Yes.
right? And you can see the beauty in everything that they do by taking what they've gone through, still having the courage to get up every day and smile, still having the strength to get out here and say, let's see what else I can do, right? All of these different things. And just to be just a small fraction of it, the small piece of it is so humbling. It's just so humbling.
Well, for you to go for where you were to wanting to end your life to helping so many people with grief that you didn't even know you were going to be doing that, it's just it's a miraculous. It's I'm seeing that over and over and over again that God's hand is in every experience that we are going
Yeah.
through. And
Yeah.
we always ask ourselves, why are we going through this? Why do we have to deal with this? Oh my gosh, this is so hard. And then when we find out that we get through it and we find out, okay, now God's going to use it. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. Wow.
Well, it was someone else who said it to me. Um, at the time, I had just lost my son, and I was going to some men's groups, you know, and a really good friend of mine, he came to me. He said, as a matter of fact, he was driving me home. He said, Tony, because I don't know how, but God's going to use this. And I was so mad at that moment. I was like, well, we wouldn't have to go through this. God wouldn't have to use anything if he didn't hurt me like this. Like he didn't have to take my son away from me. So him using me, I was like, no, I got nothing. I have nothing. Fast forward, I got everything, right? I got
Mm.
purpose. I stay
Amen.
aligned in that purpose. I got a vision and I got
Mm.
a path that I'm on. I may not have the fancy cars or the fancy house or anything like that, but I still got everything.
Mm.
I got everything, right? This thing is so beautiful that it's not even funny. And I love everything about it. Love everything about it. I love the way that it changes directions. I love the way that it picks you up and you know what I'm saying, cracks you open, makes you vulnerable. It shows you who you are on the inside, filled with the emotions, filled with all the trauma, all the mental health challenges that you may have, full of the addiction. And that's the beautiful part about it. I can see the beauty in the mess because underneath all of that, as you're working on it, I also see you get to a place to where you're ready for a change.
Mm.
And then you begin to see those pieces start to dissipate, not all at one time, because it takes time, but you see them start to fall apart, right? And the pieces that need to be there are begin to embed themselves into who you're becoming. And that's the knowledge that you obtain. That's the healing that you will go through, right? And when it's all said and done, there's this nice little ball sitting inside of you that's called your gift. And once you tap into that, that's when the true journey begins. All the rest of it was just a precursor up into that moment. It's just the things that you had to experience. I don't like saying people have to go through these things. You have to experience these things because at some point in your life, when you was a kid and somebody asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You said something. And now life is just coming back around to give you what you asked for, to help you see that dream, right? And we may even have had forgot about it, but the universe keeps track, right? It's not it's just like I heard a preacher say this one day. If you got a 3 or 4 year old child and they love this Rolodex that you have, would it be wise to give it to them when they're 3 or 4 years old, or wait till they've gone through something and they can appreciate the Rolex at around 18, 19 years old? They understand the value. I can't give it to you when you're in your baby stages. See, this is what a lot of people fail to realize. When you start these things, you're still in your baby stage. God can't give you, he can't give you what you're asking for. And no, when you're in the baby stage, because you're just going to squander it. So he's got to humble you. And that comes with humiliation. That comes with you being a fool. That comes so you can be wise, right? That comes with that comes with a whole lot of things that people aren't prepared for. And so once you can go through the storm, once you can go through the storm, then God can exalt you to another level,
Amen. I
you
know I
know?
went through a storm last year, and he has definitely done a lot of my work in my life since then. Um, Several storms I've been through. So,
Yeah,
Tony, you had shared with me that you had been homeless.
yeah, yeah,
Can you go into a little bit of that, of what God did to because there was so much that you went through before you ended up using that as an experience to do what you're doing today.
yeah, most definitely. So I've been homeless over 20 times in my life. Some very short stints, 6, 7 months here. And a couple of them was really bad. And where I was sleeping in trash cans and abandoned buildings and you know um bushes, you name it. I was sleeping there, eating out of trash cans and things like that, constantly wandering the streets for hours and hours on end because I didn't know where else to go. And the way that it happened, this last stint of it, it made me it made me appreciate where I am. Because when you don't have anything and no one can take anything else away from you, when you get it, you cherish it, right? Because now you know what it is to be without, right? You know what it is to be on the bottom of the barrel. So I can no longer judge the homeless person out there on the streets because I've been there. I would do what I can to help them. And so the way that God used it, and this is crazy. This is crazy because I tell people look at all the stuff that I do, the nonprofits, being an author, all of these different things. And I tell people, don't look at that. That's just fun. These are things that I enjoy doing. It's part of my gift, right? And I encourage people. I say, look, if you think that I'm doing something, I will tell you something. You already have uh, an upper hand on me. Then they go, what do you mean? I go, well, you got a few things I never had. You got a roof over top of your head. You still got a family. You got friends that support you. But most importantly, you got a roof over top of your head. See, when I started all of this, my mother passed away um, 7 years ago on the 25th of this month. So just in a few more days. When my mother passed away, I lost everything. I lost everything. I lost my home. I lost my gym. I lost everything. So I had to start over. And this is again the beginning parts of getting to where I am. And during this course of time, for like the last 6 years, 5 of those years I was homeless. So I had to rebuild my life from nothing while building everything else.
Mm.
And God somehow, some way made it happen. He somehow, some way made it happen. And I still can't explain how. I mean, I worked nights so I didn't have to sleep on the streets, and I did this during the daytime. And it was this beautiful thing. And I just celebrated my first year of being in my apartment. in May. So, and I tell people, if I can do it, I know you can do it.
Wow, what a beautiful story, Tony. And what are you working on in the future with your grief? I mean, you have so many things that you're doing. You have your podcast. What's an example of someone that was on your podcast too, or that you're counseling? You have a story that they wouldn't mind you sharing with us of a life that's been changed through your ministry?
Well, I try not to put clients on the podcast, but I will tell you about a client that I had. This man, wonderful man. He had he had just gotten divorced. So he's going through a messy divorce. And well, actually he's done with the messy divorce. Then he had lost two of his sons the same way, a year apart. Overdose and suicide,
Oh,
right? And so um when he came to me, he was on the verge of giving up. He was on the verge of giving up. But he took a chance. He took a chance on this young fella. And I got him into the group. And he starts off, he's just sitting back, he's watching everything. He's not speaking, but he's still coming. So we got part of it done. He's showing up, which is beautiful. He's showing up. And so, but for around 4 to 6 months, he wouldn't say anything to anyone, but he's surrounded by all of these people, and he's watching all of these other men be vulnerable, be open, talk about it. And one day, he comes in there on one of the groups, and his eyes are full of tears. He is grieving hard. He is grieving hard. And when he showed up, all of us men looked at him. We stepped back and said, "Let him talk." And he goes, "I wasn't going to come here today." He goes, "I've been sitting here listening to everyone, each and every last one of you." He goes, and when I got up today, I knew that this was going to be my last day. He goes, "Because I'm hurting. I don't know what else to do." He goes, "So I came here to tell you guys that I'm sorry. And thank you for allowing me to be here with you guys to experience this." Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? He's still there talking. We didn't say nothing. We didn't say nothing. We said, "Thank you. Thank you." So we got quiet and he started talking a lot more. He started really opening up, uncovering all the things that he'd been hiding from everybody, how he truly felt. When that group ended, he came back again. He started opening up a lot more. He started hanging out with the guys and stuff like that, watching him. We're just watching him grow. And of course, it's a program that I'm running them through. It's beautiful. He's participating, right? He's volunteering. He want to go out and do community events with us now, right?
that's amazing.
Yeah, he's doing all of these things. And then about a few months go by, he meets a young lady, right? Somebody who he really, really, really likes. And he comes to the group one day, he goes, "Fellas, I just got engaged." So I say all of that to say this because I have many success stories like that. People come into these groups, right, not knowing if it's going to be something for them or not. And I just allow them to be present and in the moment with these other men. And we just let life do what it does. And once a person is open and vulnerable enough, God comes in and changes everything around for them, right?
Wow. Mhm.
And you see these men start to regain their confidence. They begin to smile a little bit more. They begin to open up and be, become their authentic self through all of those, and understanding the grieving process that much more. They're not afraid to tell you what's on their mind. They're not afraid to tell you when they're not feeling, when they're not feeling well. They have accountability partners. They got people that they can call. "Hey, brother, I'm struggling right now. I just need somebody to talk to. Are you available? Yeah, man. And this is what that's about. Me doing these groups is not about me. It's about these individuals that are part of it because they're the ones who are going to put in the work. They're the ones who are going to make the difference in their communities when they leave those groups, and the difference in their lives, in their families' lives. So, we that was one that stood out to me because that was a rough one. That was a rough one. This man lost both of his kids a year apart from the same exact thing. Suicide by overdose.
Wow. So isn't it true? I went through grief myself. I lost my very first husband to a death, and it seemed like I went through these five stages. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like there are five stages I heard of grief. Can you tell us a little bit about those stages?
Yeah. I want to say this first because the when we talk about the five stages, I like to call them pillars.
Okay.
Because what ends up happening is that you have to understand what the five pillars of grief was for. They were for people going through mental illness, right? You know what I'm saying? Terminal illness. And so it was based around those that concept right there. Now we can take and apply it to grief, and we separate it because as you begin to go through those phases, you will realize that it's more than just anger, it's more than just a bargaining, it's more than just a denial. So but all of these are different stages of grief. These are your different stages of grief. So you can plug in what you're feeling from sorrow to depression, anxiety, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And so that those grow and everything, but they're great starting points from when you're grieving. They're great starting points from when you're grieving. So yeah, I think that they're beneficial once you understand what they actually are.
And don't you go back and forth in between? Like I know that I went through denial when my husband died. I
Mhm.
went through I went through anger. I went through emotional depression. There's all these different things that you have to go through. And then you finally get to the acceptance part,
Right.
and I know because I've been through so much grief in my life. um Even with my last divorce, I know that I've walked through all the different things of grief, and
Mhm.
they don't always go away. They come back later. So how do you get through that without, I mean, there's no way I could get through it without God. There's just no way. He's the only one that's helped me through everything.
To be honest with you, right? You don't really go through it. You don't really go through it. You have to grow through it.
Grow through it. I love that.
You have to grow through it
Yeah.
because if you think about the concept of grief, grief is growth. That's what grief is. Grief is growth, right? It's the growing of your humanity, your humanism
Mhm.
in all aspects, physically, emotionally, spiritually, right? So it's meant to change you, and give you a sense of appreciation of the life that you have by cherishing the ones who have passed. They're part of who you are, but it's so much deeper than that, right? It's life saying it doesn't end here. And if you want, I can help you connect with them in a different way. It's love. It's a truth, right? It's a truth. It's love. If you're grieving someone at some point in life, you love that individual. Now that that person is gone, the love that you have for them is still with you. It just has nowhere else to go. So you're grieving what could have been, right? Whether it's a friend or a significant other, a child, no matter who it is. It's just letting you know that you still got love within you. Once you understand that and you let God do his work with you, you realize that love is part of God too. And it's just God saying, I see you. Let me show you how to love again. let's use this in a way to where, you know, it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you more connected to me. Because through this, I know you're listening to me because this is the time that you call on me the most.
It is true. When we are going through some dark times, that's when we really, really do get closer to our Heavenly Father. And it's during times that, even if we're not going through rough times, we always should be connected to Heavenly Father, not just during the dark times. But thank you so much, Tony, for all your information and how you're working with people to help them through their grief. And
Mhm.
send out all your information in case anyone that will view this, because we are going on Q Vision Television. We're going to
Yes,
be
yes.
launching your new series. I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit about what you're excited about being on the network.
I'm excited to um, reach more people, right? I'm excited to reach more people to let them know that there are people out here that care about them, that want to walk with them. But I'm also excited about the new connections that I'm going to make with other people, right? And seeing how we grow in this world and the impact that we're going to have. I'm really, really excited about that.
Wow. Well, we appreciate you so much. And we know that what God is going to do through your ministry and through this network and through your podcasts, it's just going to be amazing. I'm so happy. So, yeah, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you as we end the show.
Yes, you can find me on Facebook as Tony Lynch. You can find me on LinkedIn as Tony Lynch. You can find me on Instagram as Men's Grief Support. You can check out the podcast. It's on YouTube. Grief Let's Talk About It podcast. Yeah. And other than that, you can reach out through me to my email, which is ggf1941 at gmail.com. And let's connect. Let's connect and see what we can do together.
Thank you so much, Tony. I know you're going to help a whole lot of people. And I just want to pray over your ministry in Jesus' name that it will flourish. It will flourish and men will come to you and they will get help from the Lord up above, and they will get the tools that they need to get their lives back on track again. And we just want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course.
We appreciate you, and until next time on Living a Healthy Lifestyle Show, this is your favorite holistic health coach, Carrie K. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.